Hi, everybody. Good. Yeah, we are working. So, hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here for the live stream today. What I'm going to do is edit a few photos I took of my daughter. I made a dress, gotta be like a year ago now. But I never did anything with it. I just made it as like a practice, basically. On my sewing, and I never photographed it or anything. So finally my daughter and I went out and did it, and I have the photos here and I want to share that with you. So let me just switch my camera here. So this is the first one. We just went in behind my house, and we live on a lake, and so this was kind of just an impromptu photo shoot. I was like, I need to do some photos. Would you mind putting this on so we can go out and take some pictures? And luckily she was in a good mood and it worked out. So this is the photo shoot here. And I really loved, we went out there during golden hour, and took a few photos. It's springtime here, so all the trees are in bloom, and these blossoms only last like a week. So I'm happy that she decided to come out here with me and take some photos, because otherwise now after this there'll be berries or crab apples and things like that, which are still pretty, but it's not quite the same as these blooms. So yeah, this was the photo shoot here. That's the lake, and these are the few photos that we have. I'll show you the ones that I chose as my favorites. This one here, I just love the lighting in this one with the sunlight hitting the water. And yeah, these are all my favorite ones, which I'm going to be editing today. Even though this one is out of focus, I love it. So I'm just going to edit it anyways, because I think it's beautiful. And these ones here. So I want to show you something. I did do a little bit of editing in Lightroom. So let's go into develop up here at the top. I did a little bit. So this was the original. I cropped it, and then I just, darkened up the tones a bit to make it a little less, what would that be? A little less hazy. I prefer the deep colors, personally. But if you like the hazy photos, just cropping it and then editing it with the haze, it works as well. And then I chose this one here. I just want to edit out all of this, and kind of maybe put some kind of a mountain scene, a lake mountain scene or something back here. And then we've got this one here. And all I did for these was just cropping and a little bit of tone work, just brightening things up and warming things up, because as the sun was getting lower, the shadows were making everything look quite blue. So I just warmed everything up. And this one here, I just love the lighting in this one. It's so pretty. And then we got the crabapple tree here with the pink blossoms, and I just brightened. This one was really dark because she was quite backlit, so I just brightened everything up here. This one was quite cool, and I just warmed it all up with and brought the sky back in. And how I did this one was I just brought the highlights down, because when they were normal it was just quite white, and I wanted to bring that oranges back and everything. So I'm just going to take this out. And this one again, I love that one even though it's blurry. And then there's this one here and this one. So we're going to work on editing these. What I want to show you is a new feature that Lightroom just brought out not too long ago. And that is the erase filter, the remove filter. So I'll show you here. So if you remember the little band-aid, the healing one, the healing tool, you can easily just retouch that. But what they did was brought in an AI, and that's the remove, and it's going to remove these things with AI. So what I'm going to do is paint over these with the eraser. I just want to remove the things here. And we're going to hit remove, and it's going to use AI to remove those things out of the water there. And it works quite well. I really am happy with how that works. So it's actually really perfect. So if you only have like a couple of little things to remove, like you can just easily remove these in Lightroom before you bring things into Photoshop and change things up that way. Why won't this move? Anyhow, I really like that new tool in Lightroom. It's really good. Okay, so what I want to do with this one is I actually do want to edit this background out. Like, I don't love the docs and everything. I'd like to change it up a little bit. So I will bring this one into Lightroom. And now that I've got all the colors and everything, oh, actually this one's a quick remove as well. So we're gonna just use again the generative one and remove this pole. Let's see how that does with the AI. And this is the type of AI I like to see, where it's just helping enhance your photos and you're not like, you know, creating a new photo, you know, with an AI program. And it really does annoy me when people comment on my photos and be like, AI isn't art. And I'm like, this isn't AI. I actually made this in Photoshop. Like, this is my artwork. Yeah, it's annoying. Okay. I might have to fix that up just a little in Photoshop, but actually I might just take a step back and remove that heel. Yeah, there we go. I'll take that one out in Photoshop, and same with this one here. Actually, let's try the AI. Let's see if that's gonna work with the AI. Just to remove that and this here. Oh, that didn't quite work. Why is it doing that? Okay, weird. It's only like using it as dots now. It's not like letting me draw. But okay, let's try removing those. Nice. Okay, that actually worked really well again. And then this one, I don't love the white on the tree there, and I'm gonna see if it's possible for me to remove it with the AI. If it just kind of takes out the entire tree stem, then I will have to use the clone tool in Photoshop to clone those out, or I could just draw a stem back in. But let's try and see what the AI does here. I just really don't like that white in there. Actually it worked. It worked. It's a really good tool. Like, it's doing what you want it to do, which is great. I love that. I love when AI actually works that way. Sometimes it doesn't. Close that for a second. I'm actually gonna just use the AI one for these again. See if I can get those to remove. Why doesn't it? That's odd. It's not letting me draw again. Okay, there we go. So YouTube hates it when I add music to any of my videos, lives or not lives. So if you guys want to watch this video, but I'm not talking that much because I might get focused and want to edit, then you can just put some music on in the background and that will help. All right, so I'm going to start by opening this one up into Photoshop, and we're just going to right click on here and go to, where's the open in, edit in, here we go, and Photoshop. All right, so the very first thing I'm gonna do is work on that background, and I'm just gonna select, basically select all of this over her head. Oh, I hate that when you think you have it in the right spot and then you lift up your pen and it like moves your selection. There we go. Okay, and now I'm gonna go up to my generative fill. So that is in edit and generative fill. So now we need to type in what we want to add in here. And I'm thinking, let's say, so when you're working with generative fill, it does not work if you're not specific about what you want. So you can't just say remove or take out this. It's not going to work. You actually have to describe what it is you want to take out. So if you're like, remove docks and houses and cement wall in the background, you have to be very specific. So that's what I'll do. Remove lake, docks, houses, and cement wall in the background. And the same with like replace. You can't just like say replace this. You have to tell them what you want to replace it with. And even then, it may not work exactly how you want it. So it's nice that it comes up with different variations so you can see which one you like better. So it's just adding different buildings in there, so I don't want that. So let's change, and let's say remove them from the background and add in a tree line from a forest. Okay, we'll see how that one works, if that one's gonna do something different. No, it's still wanting to add buildings. Okay, so let's take out the whole remove part. And we'll say this, add a tree line from a forest along a riverbank, maybe? Riverbank. And oops, I said, oh no, I did that right, okay. I love that you can see her little Converse under the dress. Okay, there we go. That is much better. Okay, I like that. It's a little hazier, but I guess you're gonna, I don't want it to remove the light on the river though. I mean, that's pretty close. That's pretty close. That actually looks really pretty, and I can work with that. So I'm going to keep this one. And we're just gonna like add a, I want to add like a little bit more of a reflection on the lake there, but first I'm gonna add a hue and saturation. I want to do that. Yeah, hue and saturation. No, not that one. Sorry. We're gonna actually add a brightness and contrast, and we're gonna clip it down. Create clipping mask. There it is. And I'm actually gonna bring the brightness down a little bit, or the contrast up maybe. Why won't you work? Yeah, just the contrast up a bit, because I find like that right back in the back here, it was like a little too hazy. So we'll do that, and then maybe bring the brightness down just a touch as well. You're kind of getting that on her head, so I'm gonna paint over her with a brush to make sure we're not darkening up her head right there. Okay, there we go. And we're going to make a new layer, and then we're going to go up to filters, and then they have stylized. It might be under stylized, and I think it's this solarize. Oh, sorry, maybe it's not that. There used to be like a certain render. Ah, there we go. A render lens flare. There we are. Okay, so I actually can't do it on an empty layer, so I'm going to hit Shift Control Alt E, and that just adds all of these layers up on a new layer. So if I close all those, you can see the original, right? Okay. This is an awesome thing if you need something but you want to keep all those layers in case you like make a mistake. So now we'll go back up to filter, render, and lens flare. Oh, it's bringing it up on my other screen. So I'll bring it back over here, and we're gonna just bring this up here. And let's just see what other, I think that one might be the best one. This one right here. And I might bring the brightness down a little on it. Okay. There. Okay, and let's see what that looks like. So I'm probably going to just bring the opacity down a little bit, and then I'm gonna delete those because I don't like these things being in here. I really just wanted the flare up in here on the water. Okay. And so we need to put a new layer mask, and I'm just going to use my black brush and paint those out. And that's pretty much it right there. I'm just going to bring my white brush at like 50% and paint that flare back in a little right there, just because the grass is a bit hazed. All right. Now, the other thing I want to do is, I'm noticing like a darker thing right here. So I'm gonna go onto there and get my patch tool, and I'm just going to patch out that. It's not letting me drag. There we go. Okay, Control D to deselect that. There. That looks better. All right, so now, again, I'm going to do Shift Control Alt E, and I'm going to do some liquefy. Oh, whoops, I hit the wrong button, the wrong liquefy. So we'll just do Control Z to step back and go into the liquefy. And we're gonna liquefy her dress a little bit just to make it even more floofy. Okay, and then I also want to floof up her hair a little bit. And the dress was quite poofy right up here, so I'm just gonna unpoof that, like just a teeny bit. There, that looks good. Okay, so now I'm gonna start bringing in my actions. And I want to do, so I have to flatten this now. So I'm actually going to save it first in case I need to take a step back and go back to this point. And we will flatten. And then we will start with the frequency separation. And these actions are in the files. I actually have it pinned to the top of the group so you can find them easily. Okay, so I want to avoid her like eyes and eyebrows and mouth. So you don't like blur those features. We don't want those blurred. And it is a little grainy just because it was, you know, you're photographing straight into the sun. And it's gonna be a little bit grainy when you bring up the exposure. Yeah, okay. And my daughter had like pen all over her. She just draws on herself all the time. So I may have to take some of that out. It may not show up. Like this one, you can hardly see it, but you can see a little bit right there. So I will just use my patch tool on the gray layer and patch that out. Now, this one is the Paint Brighten layer. So you just go to your paintbrush, you know, put this on Lighten and like 10%. And you want to select a brighter part of her skin. And we're just going to paint it on her in darker areas that you want brightened. Okay, and then I don't really think there's anything else on her that needs to be taken out. And this one we want our paintbrush. So this is the sharpen layer. And this is going to be normal. This is going to be 100%. And just kind of sharpen her features. So that is after, that is before. Okay. Now I also want to see if I can change the thing in her hair. It's black and I don't really want it to be black. So let's do that, and then we'll go, so we made a new layer and we're gonna go to filter, and where is that one again? Where is it? Layer. Sorry, I gotta find it. It's been a while since I've used the color one. Okay. Well, it wouldn't be in the window, so maybe it's image adjustments. Oh, here we go. Replace color. Okay, so I'm gonna select this one. I'm gonna put it to the plus sign, and we're just gonna grab all of those. And let's see, we want to bring the lightness up probably. Oh, too much. And let's see what happens if you do the hue. So right now I'm just worrying about the headband. I'm not worrying about anything else because I can select it out. I want it to be kind of a green tone. Maybe kind of like a browny green. I mean, maybe. Let's just see what it looks like. So we're going to put a layer, and then we're going to fill the layer, and we're just gonna paint, I guess, with our paintbrush over the black. She wouldn't wear the little headband I made. She said it was too ugly. I thought it was cute. So that looks okay. I feel like it's too bright though. Maybe if we just lower the opacity on the color. I might just add like a little bit of that tone. Yeah. Okay. We'll go back to my actions here. And we're gonna do the artistic dodge. And we're just gonna paint on her here. So I'm just painting on the highlights and making them glow a little more. Okay. We can even do that in the grass. I'm just going to take a step back. There we go. Okay, that looks good. And then we will do the burn brush, and I'm not sure if it's going to select another layer, so just do that. Okay. And we're just going to start painting the shadows. Okay. And what would warmth do? Let's just see if we want to add more warmth. Maybe a little. Do I want to add that one? Yeah, sure. I think I do. Yes, we'll add that one. And then we'll do the oil art. Actually, sorry, no. We want to do the painterly vignette. And all we're going to do is, it's already covered, so we're going to just take a white brush, and we want it to be on the brush. And we're going to, yeah, 100%. See what that does. I'm going to darken up the whole front here on the grass. Oop. Okay. That looks nice. And it kind of, so the artisan, the painterly vignette actually blurs everything too. There we go. Now we're gonna do the oil paint finish. And do we want that blurred? Probably not that much. We'll do 30% on that. And then with this one, we're going to, oh, right, we want to paint it off of her. So again, brush it 100%, but pull on black this time. I'm just gonna zoom in and paint that effect off. And I also want to sharpen her features a little bit as well. So it just creates this like really dreamy effect. Okay, I'm gonna save this and I will be right back. Okay, sorry about that. All right, so this photo is done. So I'm gonna close this one. It's saved. And let's open up my Lightroom again. So that is the finished. That's before, and that's the after. It looks so good. I love the trees in the background. It worked out so well. Okay, so now I'm actually gonna unfavorite this one. We'll just put a 0, and then we'll do this one. So we'll just edit this. Actually, there's a few things I could probably take out in the lake with that AI brush. So we'll just do that. That one, this one, and these. And we'll say remove and see how that does. It was such a beautiful night when we did these photos, like, and then after we did them, it rained the entire long weekend, and okay, that worked really good. And now we will open this one in Photoshop, edit in Photoshop. All right, so yeah, the very first thing I want to do again is select this background. And do the same thing. So let's go up to Edit, Generative Fill, and we'll say, oh, I missed a little Bowie right in the background there, but I'll fix that in a second. So I want to do a tree line along a river. Okay, and generate. Okay, let's see what else we get here. Well, that's kind of cool. I like that she's standing under a tree. That's pretty. Let's generate a little bit more just to see. I kind of like the ones with the hanging tree branches above her head. That was a cool little touch that the AI added. Okay, let's see what else we get. That one's kind of cool. I like the color of that one, but I think this one's my favorite. So we're definitely going to go with this one. And that gives me an idea to add one more thing. So let's kind of select this. I'm going to add, like, kind of select the grass here around her. Whoops. I did not select that very well. Let's go Control D. And try that again. So now we're gonna go back up to the generative fill, and let's say add green foliage. Green, let's go green plants and flowers and spring flowers. Okay, and let's just see what that does. I just changed the grass. Okay, green flowers in the foreground. Let's see if that changes anything. Well, that's kind of cool. Okay, those pink flowers are super cute. That's really pretty. Oh, the tulips are great. I think I'll just blur that a little bit with the tulips. So we'll just go click onto the actual layer and then go filter. Sorry, filter. Blur, and then a Gaussian blur. And just see Gaussian blur, that's a little too much. I could definitely paint it out right in there, kind of blend that a little more. I kind of like that. And maybe we also want to do like a, let's do a hue and saturation and clip it, create a clipping mask. And I'm going to pick magentas and just see what the magenta, no, it's not magenta, reds maybe? Okay, yep, that's changing the color. I think I would rather them be like yellow instead of pink. Let me just see. Yeah, I think I'd prefer them to be like a more of an orange or a yellow. Like right there. Okay, and then we need to blur that out. So get my brush. So 100%, we'll start with 100%. And right along like here is where we want to brush that out so that it's even with her, because it would not be blurred up that high. Okay, and then bring it down to 50. Make my brush smaller. Just kind of paint that. Okay, and then I also want to, oh, I missed a little spot up here somewhere. Okay, I need to bring, just kind of reverse this brush, and I need to bring some of these tulips back. So we'll just do 100%. There. I like that it's framing her a lot more. Like, I really do like that. It's pretty. Okay. And we're going to make a new copy. And I'm just going to clean it up a little with the remove brush. Because there's some little spots in here. Like, I don't really like that one. Oh, my Photoshop is lagging a little bit. And we'll remove that. Whatever that is. And I might actually bring yeah, I think that looks good. Okay. And we have to remove this guy as well. I missed that little bowie. Okay. And there's a spot back here I don't like. That looks good. Okay, and now we'll do the liquify. Oh, whoops, I hit the wrong button again. Filter, liquify, this one down here. Okay, puff this out a bit more. Okay, and we can flatten this and start working on her skin and the color tones and stuff, or in the exposure, I mean, sorry. Okay, so the first thing is I want to do the paint on light, which is somewhere around here. Here we go, paint on light. And we're just gonna paint it on her. Oops, I have the wrong brush. It's gonna like remove her head. Okay, wrong brush. Go to our paintbrush on white and bring that up on her. And I will turn down the opacity a little bit as well. And then we'll flatten and do the paint on shadows. And bring these down in the front. Down in the front. And we're going to just turn the opacity on that one down a little bit as well. Okay. My computer is slow today. There we go. Button image. Alright, so now we want to do this one. The frequency separation. Yeah, you can see, look at her hand. Okay, we're gonna have to work on that. So first I will blur it. Oops. Okay. Blur, Gaussian blur, and we're gonna do 8%. Okay, filter, blur, Gaussian blur. I guess I could also go Control Alt F, and that will also blur. Oops. Can't do her eye there. I gotta go around her eye. Okay. Go to my brush. This is going to be 10%, and we're going to have this on lighten. And selecting, hitting Alt and selecting like a brighter part of her skin. We're just going to lightly paint in the areas that we want to be cleaned up a little, brightened up a little. And this one, we're going to use the heel brush and remove little things off her skin, blemishes and whatnot. Okay, this one. All right, it should be interesting. See what they do here, what it does here. I may have to kind of do a like remove blue color, because it's just gonna change her skin to be blue with all this pen. Her other hand was entirely blue. I think she colored it with a what's it called, like a highlighter, like a blue highlighter or something. She's funny. just give me 1 second. Oh, uh-oh. There goes my dogs. Doggies. Penny. Penny, come here.
Puppies, Penny.
Penny. Okay. All right, let's get back to it. Sorry. Now I'm going to sharpen. There's some odd hairs going on her face. So I'm just going to see if I can remove some of them here. There, that's better. Uh-oh. Okay. So let's flatten that one. Hmm. There, jeez. All right. Oops. Again, used the wrong thing. Brush. Oh. Normal. Okay, that's helping with the color on her arm for sure. Dogs. Hey, quiet. Penny, be quiet. Lie down. Hey, no, lie down. Sit. Hey, sit. Sit. Go. Go. She is being a little pest this morning with all her barking. So I'm just painting over all the highlights. do a little more on here, on her eyes. And we're going to use the burn brush and paint over the shadows. And then I want to maybe just do a little more back here and in the water. Okay, and then we're going to do the artistic vignette again. Oh, whoops. Painting on with the wrong brush again. So let's try that again. I need to use my paintbrush for that. Okay, and we're going to turn the opacity on this down to about 30. And let's see what deep summer warmth looks like. I think I'm definitely going to bring that down a lot. Like 13%. let's see what the deep or the a deep matte looks like on here. And I like to just put these down to like 10%. It's very subtle. Maybe it needs a little more. Yeah. Okay, and then let's see what deepened greens looks like. It's nice, but I think I want to keep the really like summery glow. Yeah. So we'll close that. And we want to do the artisan oil. We're going to paint the effect off of her features. So it just really gives it that painterly effect, but I think I will bring it down just a little, maybe 30%. Nah, I think we want it at like, yeah, 35%. And we're gonna sharpen her eyes. I need to have the brush correct. Okay. Flatten that. And we're gonna do the sharpen for print. And let's see what that looks like. All right, let's zoom in here. Yeah, I love that. And we're gonna add like a little noise. Adding noise after you've done like a lot of painting in a fine art portrait is good because it kind of hides all of that work you've done and kind of makes it look a little more natural and helps blend it in a little bit. So then we'll flatten that and we're gonna save this. Okay, we can close it now. I'm gonna open my Lightroom back up and we can look at the before. So I had houses in the background and there was no flowers in the front. And then we changed it so that the houses were gone and we added some flowers in there to just kind of add that spring look. There we go. All right, so we will, again, I'm going to put 0 to there. So this is the first one we edited today and the second one. Really loving how these are turning out. We're going to work on the close-up one now of her. And first we got to fix up some things. She's got a bit of pen on her nose. So we're just going to clean that up with our brush in Lightroom here. Oh, actually, let's do this one. We'll just do the little remove brush on these. She's also got like a little cut on her lips. This mark right here is actually a giant freckle, and so I'm gonna leave that in, but she's got a little scratch on the side of her face here, and we can see all of this pen on her fingers. So let's try using the new Photoshop, Lightroom AI remove, and see how it does on that. She loves to color on herself and draw. She draws on all of her clothes and shoes and her skin all the time. You know, what's funny is I get a lot of comments on my really photoshopped work that it's all AI, and it's actually not. But if you look at like my fine art stuff, I actually use more AI on my fine art than I do any of my other work. So it helped a little bit, but I'll probably still go in and use the spot remove brush in Photoshop. So let's open this one up. Edit in Photoshop. Okay, so yeah, the first thing I will do is make a new layer, and I'm going to touch up those little marks that didn't quite work with the AI. She's got a little bit of, oh, why won't that work? Okay, let's try just using the spot healing brush instead, because the other one's not working. So she's got a little bit of like mascara up in here. We're gonna try to remove as well. Oh, it worked good on her lip there, that she had a little scar on her lip. Yeah, that looks good. Let's see if we can't get these fingers not blue from pen. I mean, it's better. She's got some right there on her arm. I may just have to use like a paintbrush and paint those out. We could also try, I think I have like a fix blue layer somewhere in here. Oh, maybe not. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just make a new layer, and I'm going to create a hue and saturation layer, and then we'll go to blues and see if I can't like desaturate those blues or change them. Maybe it's not gonna, let's see, cyan maybe. yeah, it's not really working. Okay, so that didn't quite work. So I might just have to take a paintbrush and color those with paintbrush. So let's try that. We'll go to my paintbrush and I'm going to change this to color, the mode to color. And I'm going to select her skin tone and then paint the blues out. And it's working, yay! Okay, we got it. Yay, no more pen on her hands. All right. Now I want to see if there's a way for me to change the headband color. So we'll go again to, excuse me, I got the hiccups. Image and adjustments, and then there's the replace color. Ooh, what would color match? Maybe I could color match it. So if I like select, no, that's not gonna work. Okay, yeah, we'll just do the image and then adjustments and replace color. And we're gonna select the black headband. Okay, and we're going to change the hue or the lightness first, maybe. Oh, too much. Way too much. So the lightness a little bit, and then we'll try to change the hue. It's not gonna work on the black, I guess. All right, so hit cancel. And we may just have to paint it. Select color range, and we'll do the black, and we'll just hit OK. And now I'm going to open a hue and saturation layer again. I just want to see if we can like adjust the color at all on it. It's not really gonna work on black. Okay, I guess the headband might have to stay the way that it is unless I like paint over it by using like a color layer. But do I really want to do that? Solid color layer. We can try it. Pick like a dark green. And we're going to put it onto multiply. I'm not sure that's really going to do anything on the black. Oh, it is doing a little something. But I have to be careful with the way I'm painting it so I don't get her hair. And I feel like that's the wrong green. We need it to be more like a yellowy brown. Yeah, it's just not the right color, so I'll just leave it black. Because the yellowy greenish brown color from her dress isn't gonna show up on the black, so I will have to leave it. I'm just gonna liquefy her hair and stuff a little bit. Just to puff it out a bit. There we go.